We are live. Let me share the link in the group me right quick. Tanner, you're a bitch. Everybody knows it. All right, hopefully some people join. Got a special. You know, I'll just mid-season awards. Got Chipotle. It's dinner time. Been working all day. Just got home. Walked over to the Chipotle about 5 minutes away. Got to eat. We're back on the plane tomorrow. Got a flight to Boston at 7 a.m. And then work all day tomorrow until like fucking 8 o'clock again. Shit like this is how I justify me spending some time during the day to do trades and do fantasy research when they got me traveling like this 3 weeks out of the month of October. You just see some bodies in the live. That's a salty one. Where's my boy Landon? Come on, you fuckers. Yeah, actually, Landon, you better not join. You'll get excited watching me fucking take down this burrito. Yep. Money. I don't know how I don't have a Chipotle. Get it whenever I can, since we don't. All right. Nobody wants to join. That's fine. Y'all are fucking whack anyways. We'll split screen this shit right quick so I can see the chat. All right. Let's get into this. Little review from this past week. Had some big games. I mean, not shakeups, but the games this past week. This league is just, a lot of parity in this league. Week 7. Here we go. Starting off with me. I get the win against the Super Poopers, Logan. Nice dub, 120 to 101. You know your team is ass, Logan, when you get beat by the guy whose wide receivers combined for 1 point. So you got some work to do, bub. Let's take a look at that box score. Why did not let me look? There she is. Okay. Here we go. Let's take a peek at that work I put in on Logan. Huge game from Saquon, 28 points. Javonte, 23. Like I said, my receivers combined for 1 point. And Njoku had 14. My defense had 21. My kicker had 15. Finally, getting some production from the defense and the kicker. Finally. And for Logan, he put up 101, but which ain't bad. Aaron Jones showed out. Josh Jacobs put up. T. Higgins put up. But other than that, no dice. Logan's 3-4. I am 3-4. All right. Moving on. We're gonna go to Tim versus Nick. We had a couple really low scoring teams this week. Really, really low scoring. Real embarrassing as a matter of fact. A record setting score, low score for one of those teams. Tim beats Nick 106-56. 44 points from Lamar. I seen that boy in person, looking electric. Tampa Bay had no answers for him. Bucky Irvin had a nice game. Rashad White had a nice game on Tim's bench. And then 17 points from a kicker goes a long way. Rashad should have 2 touchdowns, but his second one he dropped and also tore his hamstring. Well, not tore, but no. And then for Nick, 56 points. James Conner put up 18. After that, nada. Take out with a fucking 0. And Nick is punishing his team this week for the poor performance. Tim moves to 4-3. Nick down to 3-4. Tanner with another lucky game. Tanner wins 85-62 against Matt, who sold. Tanner got a big game from Jalen Hurts for 25 and Breece Hall for 22. But after that, Cooper scored 13 points. Congratulations. But Tanner's defense was -1 against the Steelers. Yikes. And then for Matt, it don't really matter. Kyler Murray had 22 and his kicker had 12. Other than that, nothing. Matt's 1-6. Tanner's 4-3. Keep coasting along until he gets them reinforcements. Still nobody watching. I'm disappointed. Real disappointed here. All right. But we move on. This burrito's so fucking good. I'm about to Kareem against Giorgio Armari. Corey, who continues to say he's unlucky, loses again. Is he unlucky? Or is his team just not that good? Good teams perform when they need to. Corey had what I would call a must win. He didn't win, but he still feels he has a chance. So we'll see how that goes. Joey and Griff continue to ball out. A big game from Jordan Love, Bijan Robinson. Kamara finally had a bad game. Kareem Hunt continues to roll 20 points. And then his defense, nice little stream there with the Commanders had 18. Corey had 36 from Baker, 21 from Kenneth Walker, 9 from Cook. But Corey had, his receivers combined for 5.5 points. Receivers plus his tight end, Travis Kelce, combined for 7 points. You ain't gonna win many ball games like that, bub. So Corey is now 2-5. Joey and Griff now 5-2. They win 116-94. Then we got surprise my boy Shane out here. Mason continues the run. He's up to 5-2. I think he started the year 0-2. He's fucking rolling now. And behind Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's got almost 900 yards rushing already. He's got more rushing yards, I think, than like half the NFL. So he had a monster game from Henry, Kyron Williams. Both had monster games. George Pickens, A.J. Brown, Justice Hill scored. Everybody put out. He only had 19 from Joe Burrow, but he still put up 147 points. Beat Pizzo 147-102. Pizzo's 2-5 now after this loss. Josh Allen with a nice 28-point game. Brian Robinson with 13. Drake London with 12. Rashad Bateman put up 20, but Cortland Sutton with a 0. DeMarcus Robinson with a 0.9. His kicker with only 3. He is hurting without Jonathan Taylor. Pizzo is in trouble. but he loses this past week, 147 to 102. He's 2-5. Mason's 5-2 and looking good. Here was one. I think I picked this correctly. Gritty Gang Dan wins 117 to 75 against Landon. Dan's 5-2 now. Landon is 3-4. Dan continues to get inconsistent work from his quarterback, but he continues to win some games. 9 points out of Kirk Cousins, but Joe Mixon, that boy was toting that rock. 27 points. Justin Jefferson, consistent as always, 14 points. DK Metcalf got 16, but got hurt. Alexander Madison, 12. The Broncos defense with 23. That's big time to get those points there. And then for Landon, his only double-digit scorers were the Eagles with 17 and his kicker with 12. Jaden Daniels getting hurt obviously killed him in a blowout. But J.K. Dobbins only had 6.6. Trey Tucker, 4.7. Garrett Wilson, 8. Isaiah Likely, tight end number 2 there, had 1.7. And Parker Falls. So let's see here. So nobody on. Oh, we got 2 people on here. What up? Who's here? What we got? Welcome. We just got to Parker and Dan here, to Landon and Dan. And now, with the worst score in league history, and by a long shot, Kevin scores 27.34 points. Shane moves to 6-1. He scored 99 to 27 against Kevin. Shane started Drake May. He had 25. Drake May alone almost outscored Kevin. Shane had some big games from May, Najee, Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Started Jake Ferguson on the bye week. Didn't want to drop nobody. Didn't need to drop anybody against Kevin's team. And then for Kevin, he scored 27 points. How many points does Dak, DeAndre Swift, CeeDee Lamb, and Keenan Allen get him? Even if they both got him 80 points, it seems ass. 99 to 27. Kevin's team is ass. And then another low-scoring game. Another team failed to break 50. I actually think this might be the second lowest-scoring game of all time behind Kevin in the same week for a team that just made a huge trade to try and go make a little run. That's Tom. Tom scores 49 points. Well, we'll call it 50. But Mike wins 135 to 50 against Tom. Now, Mike scored 135 with Bo Nix only getting him 14. Huge game out of Gibbs. Nice game out of Brian Thomas. Huge game out of Tank. Huge game out of his kicker, had 18 points. His bench would have came close to outscoring Tom's whole team. Patrick Mahomes, 12 points, leads the league in interceptions. This ain't the year for him. They don't care about fantasy. They care about winning games and winning Super Bowls. Fuck the Chiefs. But yeah, they just win ball games. Jordan Mason only had 7 points. Tom's only high score was Patrick Mahomes with 12. It was his only guy in double digits. Just an absolute abysmal week for Tom in a must-win situation, and likely sends him to a place that he don't want to be, hanging out with Matt on his little special island. So that's your recap. That's your review of the week. Now, why don't we move in to we're going to move into the sus bus. We're going to move into the sus bus and then go to the midseason awards. Okay. Let me have another bite of my burrito here. Shout out Chipotle for sponsoring the Midseason Awards this episode. Brought to you by Chipotle. Get yours today. Go ahead and try their new. I got it here. I haven't had it yet. Their new brisket. I got it on a hard shell taco. Only available for a limited time. One bite. Everybody knows the rules. That's delicious. It's got like a little sweetness, a little tanginess. That's money. Go get yours today. All right. The sauce bus. The dreaded sauce bus. And here's who we got on it. Tom is the driver. And he's got his foot absolutely flooring this fucking thing. Tom. He's got the pedal to the metal. And Tom's driving this bus. He might already be there to Cellar Island with Matt. But if not this past week, it will be this week. He's going up against Mason. A pretty much guaranteed loss for him. Next up, again, remember Matt will not be on the sus bus because he has already arrived at his final destination. Next up on the sus bus is Pizzo. Pizzo 2-5. Playoff odds down to 19%. Getting a lot of inconsistent play. A loss this week guarantees that he's toast. Next up after him, I'm actually going to put a 4-3 team on the sus bus. There's going to be 4 people on the sus bus this week. It's going to be this team and another. But this team at 4-3, Kevin at 4-3 is on the sus bus. 40% playoff odds. We take a look at his team. He's got some guys with a tough matchup this week. He's starting Kendre Miller still. He's starting 2 tight ends. He's starting Alec Pierce with Pittman and Downs healthy. This is not a playoff team. This is a team that's going to drop several games in a row and will be selling at the trade deadline. That's my prediction. Next up, we've got, last but not least, on the sauce bus. He's still hanging on because he's still putting up points, but I think this is an absolute must-win game. He knows that he has to win this week. He's opening up and is a 17-point favorite. It's Corey. Corey's 2-5. He's got 25% playoff odds. He probably isn't going to make the playoffs, but he's got the team to maybe make a run. The only thing is the receivers might kill him. It might be his undoing. He's got the running backs to carry him with Kenneth Walker, David Montgomery, James Cook. But you got to be concerned that Baker Mayfield has no targets now. You know, Baker Mayfield, I think, is the second highest scoring quarterback in football. Might even be the first. He's the second, averaging 30 points a game. But Tyler Lockett, Demario Douglas, DJ Moore. Now, DJ Moore should have a good game this week against Washington, but you got to temper those expectations with Marcus Mariota likely starting this weekend. Or I'm sorry, flip that, just scratch that, ignore what I just said. DJ Moore against Washington should be a high-scoring game for DJ Moore. Playing against Washington. Washington does not have Daniels. I expect the Bears to have the ball a lot, especially against a shitty defense. Corey's deciding to bench Travis Kelce this week and go with Cade Otton. That's a ballsy move, but he better hope it pays off. He needs to win this week. It's an absolute must-win for Corey. If he doesn't win, he's going to be selling. But it'll be an interesting sell-off for Corey because all his, main attractions have good contracts. Kenneth Walker's got a good contract. James Cook has a good contract. David Montgomery has a good contract. DJ Moore has a good contract too. So it's going to be interesting. He's going to have to make some decisions on who he wants to roll with if he ends up having to sell. But obviously he's hoping he's going to win this week. Probably should have been a bigger player on Tillman and McMillan. especially McMillan since he's got Baker Mayfield. That's going to be his number one option until Evans comes back. So that's your sus bus. It's Tom flooring that fucker. It is Pizzo in the passenger seat, and then it's Kevin and Corey sitting behind them. So they got to figure out shit fast. Those teams. Kevin's got a little bit more wiggle room because he's 4-3, but in 3 weeks he could be 4-6. And now, what you've been waiting for? It's time. What's this? Let's go from Tanner. Are we getting excited for the awards or something else? Oh, Justin Ross? Oh my God, there goes my fab. Fuck. Dude, I should have known better. I should have picked him up. God damn it. Listen, I got dibs. All right? I got dibs. I'll waste $1 on him. Okay? Don't make me. But I will. Let me get a couple chips. Let me drive this into my. All right. Midseason awards. Take a bite of this. All right. Here we go. Now, I don't necessarily have an order to this, so I'll try and make the order up on the run. All right, well, I like this one to start. I don't think my pen. I don't. And well, let's go in order what I have here. All right, our first award is for the littlest T of the league, and that goes to none other than Timothy Early, the littlest T in the league. Congratulations to Tim on the littlest T award. Keep it up, bub. Midseason award, attaboy. You keep it up, and you're going to win the littlest T for the full season, too. I'll tell you what, you're on a good pace for it. Next up, we got the AWOL award. What's the AWOL award? It's exactly what it sounds like. It's the person that never messages in the group chat. You don't even know they're in the league, but they are. And it just so happens they are a passenger on this week's Sus Bus. Give it up for Sheriff Pizzo. Sheriff Pizzo with the Midseason AWOL award. Attaboy, congratulations. Normally, this would be an award given to Deontay. I should have named this Deontay award. But, Pizzo, you got it, bub. Don't let Deontay sneak around and claim it for you on the full season. Next up is an award for Tanner. And I think you know what that award is. And it's the luckiest. It's the luckiest owner in the league award. Tanner is somehow 4-3 with a 69% playoff odds, despite having scored the fourth least amount of points in the league and having the second least points against. Tanner has 589 points for, 604 points against. Wow. Give it up for Tanner for being lucky. Attaboy. Good job, Tanner. Good job, bub. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Next up, we got unlucky. And I think this is also not a surprise to anybody. But the unluckiest player thus far, midway, is Corey. Corey has scored 815 points this year. And he's got 853 points against. Yikes. Everyone seems to have their highest scoring game against Corey. He's 2-5. So, and also a passenger on the Sus Bus this week. So Corey wins the unluckiest award. The next one, this might come into a surprise. I think most of you would think I'm going to give this award to myself, but I'm not. I think I'm probably second right now. But the best trader in the league, and by best trader, I mean they made the best trades to improve their team. And they made some big ones, really big ones. That goes to Mr. Mike Lechleiter, best trader thus far this year. Mike. He traded CeeDee Lamb, traded Saquon Barkley. He still needs a quarterback, but he has made some significant improvements to his team, and it's put him in a spot to compete for the playoffs. He's 4-3. 51% playoff odds. So congrats to Mike on being the best trader, bud. Boy, keep it up. Who would have thought Mike, coming into the year, had made 3 trades in the last 4 years? Here he is being the best trader. I need a bite. Next up, we got the worst trades, or the worst trader. And for the worst trader, that means it's the person who made the worst completed trades. Who's hurt their team the most with their trades? I think this one you guys know. This one goes to none other than Kevin Kucharski. On paper, the smartest person in this league on paper. But when it comes to fantasy or to sports, probably down there at the bottom of the barrel. Not often do you see someone trade A.J. Brown for Jameson Williams. I think this is actually a fun fact. A.J. Brown has more targets than Jameson Williams. Just off of his last game, I think he has more targets than Jameson over the whole season. It's pretty close, but you get the gist. And, he made that trade because he was worried because A.J. Brown was on a bye week and he needed someone to play. So what's he do? He pulls the trigger to get Jameson Williams also on his bye week. Congratulations. Huge trade. Big trade. And you know what? Kevin has put his trust, his season, in Dak Prescott. And Nick, if Nick's watching, Nick knows how that usually goes. And, I told Kevin, I was like, listen, if you want to do that trade, go ahead. But you have to trade Dak before the playoffs because Dak just fucking sucks when it counts. So congrats to Kevin on being the worst trader. Completed trades. Now, I got another award called the worst trader. But this one goes to the person who just has zero grasp on how to trade and what player values are. And this was a nominee by members of the league, anonymous, of course. And this goes to Dan Diddy Bop Early. Congratulations, Dan, for being the worst person to trade with or try to trade with. You don't really trade with anybody not named Greg or Mason or Tim or Nick. So just those 4 people you trade with. So congrats to Dan on that. Attaboy. If you want to send me over Leggett, and I think you just picked up Trey Palmer, and I think you have 2 defenses. I'll take your backup defense for Debo. I'll probably click accept. So send that through. All right. Next, the best person to work with in a trade is probably the person that leads the league in trades. I don't know exactly, but it's Nick. Nick Leon, congratulations. Man, it is truly, truly fun to work with you on trades. The back and forth. There's never much shit talking, bashing each other, bashing the player. It's just very upfront and direct. Appreciate it. Occasionally you'll send off a trade to him. He might just accept it without even talking much to you. He gives you a straight up, hey, Nick, you're great to negotiate with, man. I appreciate it. And I know the rest of the league does as well. Keep it up, bub. Congrats, Nick. I suspect you'll probably win this full season as well. Biggest surprise for owner. Not going to lie, they've done a pretty good job. And I say they because it's a duo. Not really a duo. We know who runs this team. There's a GM and a coach. The GM assembles a team. It goes to Griff and Joey. Biggest surprise, coming into the year, I don't think many people had them pegged to be, 5-2 through 7 games. But here they are. Biggest surprise. Congrats, Griff. You continue to do a wonderful job. Been a great addition to this league. Great job, Griff. Can't wait to get you your own team in this league someday. Maybe you'll have that team next year if Joey doesn't show up to the draft again, which is likely because he just doesn't show up to the draft because he knows he can't. He knows you're a better drafter, and yeah, that would be fun if next year Joey shows up to the draft, drafts his team, which would be a shit team, and to see if Griff can get out of the mess that Joey makes. That would be a fun experiment. All right, moving on. Biggest disappointment. And I say this because I go back to, coming into the season with keepers and then team after the draft. I thought this team was going to have a hell of a year. And I think he thought that too. Tom, biggest disappointment. I'm sorry, bub. I know you're disappointed too. Injuries kind of fucked you. You took a big gamble, having your running backs be Pacheco, Zamir White, and then spending $20-some on Nick Chubb. It just didn't work out for you. So unfortunately, biggest disappointment. Like I said, you probably feel that way too. But now it's time to rebuild for you, and we'll see where you end up. Next one is the best roster, top to bottom, starters to the bench, best roster. This is the team with, let me just confirm, I don't want to be giving false statements. This is the team with the most points for by over 100. That goes to Mason. Congratulations, Mason, on having the best roster top to bottom. Now, the team takes a hit a little bit, but still I think it with his last trade, he used some of his depth. It looks like he's got Quentin Johnston at his flex, and there's something else. But best roster, no debate right now. I think maybe at full strength, Tanner can compete. Talking about roster, but Tanner's not there yet because everybody's still hurt. All right, next up this is a special award. First to sell. Congratulations, Matt. Matt's really making a name for himself. This is his second time in the last 3 years taking this award home. And we might just have to name the award after him. So congrats to Matt on the first to sell. You make it look good, buddy. You really do, and you do it well. Next award is the Dalvin Cook Award. It is the Dalvin Cook Most Likely to Waste Roster Space Award. And that goes to none other than Logan Westervelt. Congrats, buddy. That's a nice award. That's a really nice award. I can't tell you how many times I've looked at your roster this year and seen at least 3 players on your bench projected for 0 points that weren't injured. So that's impressive. It's a hard thing to do, especially in a 16-team league. Like, you want guys that are going to play. But, hey, you know what? You're 3-4. And the Super Poopers are going to compete. So congrats to you on winning that award, buddy. Really proud. Next up is the biggest spender. And this is his second award tonight. Second award tonight goes to Tanner. It's his second win. He gets the biggest spender. He's the first one to hit 0 fab. It's his first one. Could become problematic for him because his team has not been very healthy. It would be a shame if he needed to pick someone up and couldn't because he's got no fab. So keep that in mind when you're trading with him. Don't give him fab. Don't give him fab. Don't do it. I don't care what the deal is. Don't give him fab. It'd be great for him to have to go into the, if there's a say there, he's trying to get into the playoffs and he needs a kicker and he can't pick one up, or he has to pick one up for a shit team playing against a good defense. That'd be a shame. That'd be really bad for him, or he might want a different defense because the Jets' defense fucking stinks. It would be a shame if he couldn't pick one up. Really would. Keep that in mind. Congratulations, Tanner. That's 2 awards for you, buddy. Proud of you. This is a new award. It's not actually official, but I'm going to call it official. Congratulations to the quickest person to clinch their division, Shane. 6-1. 6-1. He's got 2 guys in his division that essentially their season's over. Another one who's just hanging on the brink. Actually, Nick, I should have put you on the sus bus, so be thankful I forgot about you, buddy. There's always next week. But yeah, Shane, 98% playoff percentage. No shot. Listen, Shane has blown a lot of leads in our leagues, or in our fantasy leagues over the last few years. I truly believe there's no way, and I'm not saying this sarcastically, there's no way he blows this lead. Team's good. He's got moves to make that he will make. Congratulations, Shane, on clinching the East Division. Next up, we're going to shout out the weakest division, which happens to be Shane's division. The East Division is the weakest division in the league. They've got teams with a 1% playoff chance, 7% playoff chance, and a 10% playoff chance. This is not a dig at you guys. Like I said, a lot of injuries kind of fucked some guys over. There's some bad luck. But overall, that's just the worst division in the league right now, and that's how I got to give out the award. The best division goes out to the North. Wait, is it the North? Oh, wait, hold on. I might have got that wrong. That's my bad. Let me take another peek here. No, I'm not giving that to the North. I'm sorry. Goes to the West. Best division in the league goes to the West. Got 3 5-2 teams. We got Joey at 5-2. We got Dan at 5-2, and we've got Mason at 5-2, the highest scoring team in the league. Dan and Joey both have 89% playoff odds. Dan has a 97% playoff odd, and the Super Poopers got a 46% playoff odd. That's a tough division, the best division in the league in my mind. So shout out to the West Division. Now I'm going to give an award for the next 3 sellers. It's not really the next 3 sellers, just predictions for the rest of the season. And here's how I think the order should go. It probably won't go this way because the one team won't do it as fast as another. Next 3 sellers: Tom, Pizzo. I hate to say it, probably Nick. Sorry, Nick. But we'll see. The one thing I always appreciate about you is you will fight for as long as you can. You will try to play both sides, keep your team competitive. I'm sure you'll still sneak out some wins. But unfortunately, that's just how I see it. If it ain't you selling after Pizzo, Nick, it's Corey. Because if Corey loses this week, he's fucked. And then just my 3 biggest surprises this year in fantasy, which I was right about 2 of them. Just want to make sure you guys know that. Brian Thomas Jr., I said it at the draft. He is the second best rookie wide receiver this year. It's Malik Neighbors, BTJ, Marvin Harrison. BTJ is a stud. I also said he was a wide receiver 1 for the Jags. I was right about that. Stud. The second one, J.K. Dobbins. He has looked excellent. He has looked healthy. Run-heavy offense. Big surprise. Not to me, but to everybody else. And then third is Baker Mayfield, the second highest scoring quarterback, averaging 30 fucking points a game. So that's my third biggest surprise for the first half of the season. Now, the 3 biggest disappointments is one of my favorite players. One of them, Travis Etienne. Yes, we have all outscored him over the last 2 weeks. I know that. Huge disappointment. Hopefully he turns around. We'll see. I'm the only one that believes in him. I do have a pretty good hit rate, so we'll see. Next up, we have Sam Laporta. The dude is getting no targets. That team is running the ball more. They're not throwing it 50 times a game. So, yeah, huge disappointment. People were expecting him to be the tight end one, kind of take the top of the throne this year. And then the third biggest disappointment is Brandon Ayuk. Dude comes off a huge year, signs a huge contract, and he even before he got hurt, which factors into him being a huge disappointment, he fucking sucked. He was horrible. Horrible. So those are my three biggest disappointments this year. And that concludes the midseason awards. Now I'm going to move into a week 8 preview. If you're sticking with me, I appreciate it. Let's go to the scoreboard and let's see what we got for matchups this week and some spreads. All right, we got me versus Tanner. I love this matchup. I do. It's a matchup I got to win. It's a little bit of a rivalry week for me. I think it might be rivalry week for a couple people. 10-point favorite. I'm not going to go on all the scoring. I'm just a 10-point favorite. I'm going to pick me to win that game. You know that. Then we got Tim and Corey. This is kind of a little rivalry. Tim comes for Corey pretty hard in the group me. Really calls him out all the time. But right now, Corey is almost a 20-point favorite. He's a 17-point favorite right now. He's projected to win 114-97. Will he talk shit after? No, he's too scared. But he should, because Tim respects that. You win, you earn it. You earn that shit talking. Then we got Shane versus Logan. Shane opens up as a 4-point favorite against the Super Poopers. Could be a big loss for the Super Poopers. He could get into panic mode if he loses this week. We'll find out. Dan, going to win that game. Dan's taking on Matt. He is currently projected to win by 26 points. That will be a fucking... Dan can take this weekend off. Then we got Landon versus Kevin. Landon is a 14-point favorite. Oh, I didn't pick my winners. Yeah, so I'm going to pick Corey to beat Tim. I'm going to pick... Actually, no. I'm going to pick Tim to beat Corey. I'm going to pick Shane to beat Logan. I'm going to pick Dan to beat Matt. We got Kevin and Landon. Landon's starting Russell Wilson this week. But Kevin's starting like 4 guys that shouldn't be rostered. So I'm going to pick Landon to win, as the projection says. Then we got Mike versus Pizzo. This should actually be a good game. It's projected to be close. Pizzo's projected to win 107-105. It's a must-win game for Pizzo. Absolute must-win game for Pizzo. Let's see. I got to look at the matchup here and see what I think. Let's see here. Allen at Seattle, Bo Nix against Carolina. If Jonathan Taylor plays, that's huge for Pizzo. That's the key. If Jonathan Taylor does not play, Pizzo's fucked. Who those guys play? Great man. It's tough to... I'm picking Pizzo to win this game. I think Pizzo wins that game. All right, moving on. We got Joey against Nick, and Joey is projected to win by 29 points. Oh, no, Nick. Yeah, I'm not going to go into the box score, but I'm going to have to pick Joey in this situation. That's a very large deficit just based off projections. And we got, last but not least, Mason and Tom. Mason's projected to win by 14, 120-106. I don't think there's any way possible Tom wins this game. Yeah, the run defense is good. Nah, there's not. I'm sorry, Tom. It's over, buddy. It's over. But, hey, we appreciate you being a member of the league. Really do. And that's it for the matchups for this week. I'm going with Mason. Mason moves on to 6-2 in my opinion. And that's it. Thanks for joining the live. Like I said, I'm traveling tomorrow and then doing more work all day. I work for what it's worth is we're doing some research studies, observing how nurses and doctors interact with our new device. And I step in if they need me to. So it's been fun. Let's get some more trades going. Really. I sent some good ones out. I really think I did. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again soon.